It was a bright and sunny Saturday morning, and excitement buzzed through the halls of Pineville Elementary School. Today was the much-anticipated class trip to the city zoo, and the students could hardly contain their enthusiasm. Miss Thompson, their kind and patient teacher, had spent the past week preparing them for the trip, teaching them about the various animals they would see and the importance of conservation. Among the students was Emma, an 8-year-old girl with curly red hair and a sprinkle of freckles across her nose. Emma loved animals more than anything in the world. She had a collection of animal books, a dozen stuffed animals, and posters of wildlife plastered all over her bedroom walls. The thought of seeing real, live animals up close filled her with joy and wonder. Emma's best friend, Max, was equally excited. Max was a tall boy with dark hair and a penchant for adventure. He and Emma had been friends since kindergarten, and they shared a love of exploring and discovering new things. As they boarded the yellow school bus that morning, they promised each other that they would make this day the best day ever. The bus ride to the zoo was filled with chatter and laughter. Miss Thompson reminded the students of the rules, emphasizing the importance of staying together and respecting the animals. Emma and Max sat together, their noses pressed against the window as they watched the cityscape gradually give way to the lush greenery surrounding the zoo. Upon arrival, the class was greeted by a friendly zookeeper named Mr. Johnson, who had a bushy mustache and a twinkle in his eye. He welcomed them warmly and handed each student a map of the zoo. The map was colorful and detailed, showing the different sections of the zoo and the animals they would find in each one. "Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pineville Zoo," Mr. Johnson said with a wide smile. "Today, you'll have the chance to see animals from all around the world. Remember to stay with your group, listen to your teacher, and most importantly, have fun." The students cheered, and Miss Thompson divided them into small groups, each led by a parent chaperone. Emma and Max were thrilled to be in the same group, along with their friends Lily, a quiet girl with a love for reading, and Noah, a mischievous boy who was always up for a good laugh. Their first stop was the African Savanna exhibit. As they approached, they could see the tall, graceful giraffes munching on leaves from the treetops. Emma's eyes widened in awe. She had read about giraffes, but seeing them in person was a whole different experience. The giraffes' long necks and gentle eyes fascinated her. "Wow, they're even taller than I imagined," Emma exclaimed, tugging on Max's sleeve. Max nodded, equally impressed. "Yeah, and look at their tongues. They're so long and blue." The group spent some time watching the giraffes, listening to Mr. Johnson explain how they used their long necks to reach leaves high up in the trees and their tongues to grab the foliage. Emma took notes in her little notebook, determined to remember everything she learned. Next, they moved on to the lion enclosure. The king of the jungle was lounging on a rock, basking in the sunlight. His magnificent mane glistened in the light, and his powerful presence left the students speechless. As they watched, the lion let out a mighty roar, sending shivers down their spines. Did you know a lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away? Mr. Johnson asked, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "That's incredible," Max said, his voice filled with admiration. "Imagine hearing that roar in the wild." As they continued their tour, the group visited the elephant habitat, where they watched the gentle giants playfully splashing water with their trunks. Lily, who had been quiet up until now, spoke up. "Elephants are amazing. They're so intelligent and have such strong family bonds," she said softly, her eyes shining with admiration. Emma agreed. "I read that they can remember places and faces for many years. They're truly remarkable creatures." After the elephants, they visited the aviary, where colorful birds of all shapes and sizes flitted about, their vibrant feathers creating a kaleidoscope of colors. Noah, who had been rather quiet until now, suddenly pointed excitedly. "Look! A toucan," he shouted. "I love their big, colorful beaks." The group spent a long time in the aviary, marveling at the beauty and diversity of the birds. Emma sketched a few of her favorites in her notebook, while Max tried to mimic their calls, making everyone laugh. As the day progressed, they visited many more exhibits, the playful monkeys swinging from branch to branch, the lazy sloths hanging upside down, and the majestic tigers pacing gracefully in their enclosures. Each stop filled Emma and her friends with awe and wonder. By lunchtime, the group was hungry and tired. They gathered in a picnic area, where Miss Thompson and the parent chaperones handed out sandwiches, fruit, and juice boxes. As they ate, they chatted excitedly about their favorite animals and the interesting facts they had learned. "This has been the best day ever," Emma said, taking a bite of her sandwich. "I can't wait to tell my parents all about it." Max nodded in agreement. "Yeah, and I can't wait to come back. There's still so much more to see." After lunch, the group had some free time to explore the zoo on their own, with the chaperones keeping a watchful eye. Emma and Max decided to visit the reptile house, where they encountered slithering snakes, ancient-looking turtles, and even a massive alligator lazily sunning itself on a rock. As they exited the reptile house, they noticed a commotion near the entrance of the zoo. A crowd had gathered, and curious, they made their way over to see what was happening. To their surprise, they found a small, colorful tent set up, with a sign that read "Animal Encounter Show." "Look, Emma. They're going to have a show with real animals," Max said, his eyes lighting up with excitement. They quickly found seats near the front, eager to see what the show had in store. The host, a lively woman named Miss Harper, greeted the audience with a warm smile. "Welcome, everyone. Today, you're in for a special treat. We'll be bringing out some amazing animals for you to meet up close. Remember to stay seated and listen carefully to the handlers." The first animal to make an appearance was a beautiful, snowy owl named Athena. Miss Harper explained how owls were expert hunters, with incredible night vision and silent flight. Athena spread her wings, eliciting gasps of awe from the audience. Next, they brought out a friendly meerkat named Timon, who scurried around the stage, standing on his hind legs to peer curiously at the crowd. Miss Harper shared fascinating facts about meerkat behavior and their complex social structures. But the highlight of the show was yet to come. As the final act, Miss Harper introduced a magnificent cheetah named Flash. The sleek, spotted cat moved gracefully across the stage, and the audience watched in hushed silence. "Cheetahs are the fastest land animals," Miss Harper explained. "They can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour in short bursts, making them incredible hunters. Emma's heart raced with excitement. Seeing such a powerful animal up close was a dream come true. She listened intently, absorbing every detail about the cheetah's abilities and adaptations. After the show, the students had a chance to ask questions and even pet some of the animals. Emma and Max eagerly approached Miss Harper, who was holding Athena the owl. "Excuse me, Miss Harper," Emma said shyly. "How did you become an animal handler?" Miss Harper smiled warmly. "Well, it all started with my love for animals, just like you. I studied biology and zoology in college and volunteered at local animal shelters and wildlife centers. With hard work and dedication, I was able to turn my passion into a career." Emma's eyes sparkled with inspiration. "That's amazing. I want to work with animals when I grow up, too." Miss Harper nodded encouragingly. "Follow your dreams, Emma. With passion and perseverance, you can achieve anything." As the day came to a close, the students reluctantly made their way back to the bus. Emma and Max couldn't stop talking about all the incredible animals they had seen and the wonderful experiences they had shared. "Today was unforgettable," Emma said, her heart full of gratitude and wonder. "I learned so much, and it was so much fun." Max grinned. "Yeah, and we have so many stories to tell. This was definitely the best day ever." Back at school, Miss Thompson gathered the students and thanked them for their excellent behavior and enthusiasm. She reminded them to share what they had learned with their families and to always remember the importance of protecting and respecting wildlife. As Emma and Max walked home, they talked about their favorite moments from the trip. Emma was particularly excited about the cheetah, while Max couldn't stop raving about the playful monkeys. That evening, Emma sat down at her desk and began to write about her day at the zoo. She described the majestic giraffes, the roaring lion, the playful elephants, and the colorful birds. She wrote about the animal encounter show and the inspiring conversation with Miss Harper. With each word, she relived the excitement and wonder of the day. Emma carefully placed her story in a special folder, knowing that she would cherish these memories forever. She felt grateful for the opportunity to see and learn about so many amazing animals and to share the experience with her best friend. The trip to the zoo had sparked a new determination in Emma. She was more certain than ever that she wanted to dedicate her life to helping animals. She dreamed of becoming a veterinarian or a wildlife biologist, following in Miss Harper's footsteps. As she drifted off to sleep that night, Emma's mind was filled with visions of exotic animals and far-off places. She knew that the world was full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and she couldn't wait to embark on her own adventures. And so, Emma's journey continued, fueled by her love for animals and the unforgettable day at the zoo. She would always remember the lessons she learned and the joy she felt, carrying those memories with her as she pursued her dreams and made a difference in the world.